So this is Unit 6, Lesson 8 for our Pre-Calc 12 class. Unit 6 is on Conics. Lesson 8 is our Round 2 with Parabolas. So what we're going to learn in this lesson is a couple more features of a parabola. And these are features that we don't talk about in Pre-Calc 11. And so definitely more to learn here. So not only we're going to learn what these features are, we're also going to talk about how to find these features from the equation. And Spencer, there's still only 152 Pokemon, just so you know. Alright, so there's these two things called a focus, or a foci, and a directrix. And a parabola has each of those things. You could think of the foci like an ellipse has two of them. A parabola has one. It also has a line opposite of the, like away from the parabola, below or above, that is called a directrix. And so the point of this basically is if I pick any point on the parabola, the distance between the parabola and this green dot, the foci, this distance is equal to the distance from that same point on the parabola straight down to the directrix. And so what we get is we get this curve that, yeah, this is what it is. We get this curve, this line below it called the directrix, and this point inside the parabola called the focus, or a foci, plural. Great question came up in class. When are you ever going to use this? Well, radio signals are sent and received by like a satellite dish. So if you've ever seen like a satellite dish for someone's TV on their house, there's a little ball in the center of it. And so what that dish is a parabola kind of spun to make a bowl. And that dot, or that ball in the middle, is the receiver. It's like it's located at the focus of the parabola that is that dish. And so thanks to parabolas, that's how that works. So you get like a radio signal. If it bounces basically anywhere off the dish, it'll bounce and reflect towards the focus. And so that's a good way to take a signal and direct it to a receiver. I'm going to pretend like I know more than I do about this. So like, you know, someone's probably going to tell me that I'm wrong, and they're probably going to be right. So feel free to put that in the comments below. But I think as we move towards, we move towards digital technology lately, and so that kind of gets us away from this kind of technology. However, with like what's going on in Russia right now, a lot of the world is trying to cancel oil and move towards electric solutions. So as we see more things demanding electricity, I think the use of digital, I think some technologies might make a resurgence for like more analog kind of stuff. And so maybe the rise of parabolas might come back, because that's more of an analog tech anyways, I think. Again, I was totally making that up. I have no idea if that's true or not, but it sounded cool, so I thought I'd say it. Again, if I'm wrong, throw it in the comments. Anyway, so that's focus and directrix. They have practical applications, as aforementioned, but what we need to know is how to find those two things from the equation. That's all it's going to be on the homework, so that's all we care about. So that p-value, and again, I think P stands for Pokemon, so continue with the Pokemon references a little bit. The p-value is actually going to be the length between the vertex and the focus. It's also going to be the length between the vertex and the directrix. And so the distance between, like the vertex is halfway between the focus and the directrix, in other words. Or the length between the directrix and the focus is going to be equal to 2 times the length of P. Okay, and so if we know where our vertex is, we know our p-value, we can easily just add or subtract p to find either the focus or the directrix. That's basically the thing here. Now this applies if we have x squared. If we have y squared, then what we're going to do is we're going to take our p-value and add or subtract it to our x value of our vertex. Since it's a vertical change, we're adding or subtracting p to our y value, or to k. When we have y squared, it's a horizontal change, so we're adding or subtracting p to or from the x value, or h. Okay. So some examples. Here's the equation. Our vertex for the first example is -1, -5. Because it's x squared and because p is a positive number, I know this is a parabola that opens up. So my vertex is at the point -1, -5. If I go up by my p-value, so my p-value is 4. If I go up 4, so take the -5, add 4, I get the focus, -1, -1. If I take the k, the y value of the vertex, and I go down 4, then I get the equation of my directrix. So if the k value is -5, I go down 4, I'm at -9. So y equals -9 is the equation for this horizontal line that is what we call the directrix. Similarly over here, because my p-value is -3, I have a parabola, and because I have x squared, I have a parabola that opens down. If I just go 3 down from the vertex, that's my focus. If I go 3 up from the vertex, well, that's going to be my directrix. I know my directrix is above because my p-value is negative, and the parabola opens down. And by that same logic, I know the focus is below the vertex. So just subtract 3 to get the focus in this case, add 3 to get the directrix. Here are 2 examples with y squared. So the first one has a negative p-value, so it's going to open left. The second one has a positive p-value, so it's going to open right. Our p-value is 1, so I know my focus is to the left of the vertex, so I'm just going to subtract 1 from the h value, and I'll get the point of the vertex, or point of the focus, excuse me. If I add 1 to the h value, then I'll get the equation for the directrix, which will be a vertical line in this case. So here's the directrix. H value is 1, so if I add 1 to it, then I get 2. So x equals 2 is the equation of the line of the directrix. A little smushed here, but on the from this directrix line over, I have a vertex of vertex of 1, -4. Don't forget the x value is on the right. So here's my x value, 1. Here's my y value, -4. My p value is 2. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And I know my focus is to the right because it opens right, which means my directrix is to the left. So if I take the h value of my vertex and I add 2, then I will get the the x value of my focus. So 1 plus 2 is 3. So 3, -4 is the focus. If I take the h value of take the h value of 1 and I subtract 2, I will get the equation for the directrix. There's a typo there that should say -1, not +1. There we go. Okay. So if I take that h value of the vertex of 1 and I subtract 2 or go 2 to the left, I get x equals -1. That would be the equation of my vertex line. So there you go. 2 new key features of parabolas: focus, or foci, plural, and the directrix. And that's how we find them from their equations.